This portion of the CU podcast is brought to you by EarthySelect.com, your source for the finest Delta 8, Delta 9, and Delta 10 THC flower, oils, pre-rolls, vape pens, cartridges, and edibles. Their premium adult-use products are crafted from organic cannabis and infused with pure and potent THC extracts for effects you can feel.
Delta 8, Delta 9, and Delta 10 THC products are perfect for relaxing, socializing, getting creative, and going deep in the game. Plus, they are hemp-derived and federally legal to ship nationwide. Let's take a look at some of their most popular stuff. We'll start with their vape pens, which I love. Earthy Select's Delta 8 vape pens are packed with potent Delta 8, plus cannabis-derived terpenes. They have a stealthy ergonomic design that gives you a quick hit with no lag, making it perfect for gaming. Each rechargeable pen has 1 gram of Delta 8 THC, and is available in 4 great tasting flavors like Guava Kush or my personal favorite, the Cherry Pie. I love these. They pack light and they're excellent on the go. Earthy Select also makes THC gummies and candies that are organic, vegan, gluten-free, and taste great. They all come in different strengths so you can start low and see what's right for you. Delta 8 gummies can be really relaxing and heady, while the Delta 10 is more associated with feeling productive and creative, so it's great for daytime projects or an all-night role-playing session. The Delta 9 gummies are really impressive. They have real deal Delta 9 THC, and they come in sativa peach or indica mango.
They have a huge variety on their website at earthyselect.com. All of Earthy Select's cannabis products are federally compliant and they ship nationwide. Order online at earthyselect.com and use our code CUP20 to save 20% on your first order. No limits. You must be 21 or older. That's earthyselect.com and use code CUP20 to save 20% on THC. Ian.
Yeah.
The Intellivision Amico.
Ah, boy. There's been some news. There's really been some news the past couple weeks. Somehow there's been news to talk about without anything to actually fucking say. It's very strange.
Well, there's stuff to say.
I mean, it is, but I mean, there's nothing like huge going on. However, first things first.
Obey your thirst.
Obey your thirst. Give me something to drink. The Lipton Brisk. It's not over till it's over. Give me something to drink.
The
Brisk, baby.
The Intellivision
Amico subreddit, the official one,
the official Amico subreddit,
is now back under the people's control,
non-corporate control,
non-corporate,
which should never happen in the first place because it's against Reddit's terms of service to have corporate Reddits, because then you have nefarious bullshit happened, like happened as they took it over, and we feel responsible because we pointed out that it was like unbiased. That original subreddit, within a week, Ian, it was taken over by Tommy and his fucking goons, including that asshole Zadok Payet.
Zadok Payet, you fucking piece of shit! I know you're out there and you can hear this. Why don't you try? You want to try opening a dialogue? I want you to explain to me why you thought what you did was a good idea, especially attacking us with so much fucking made up bullshit.
Trying to say we were racist.
You fucking scumbag! You're a fucking scumbag.
Using the retro gaming subreddit that you were mod on to say. Just to post negatively about it, say we've fallen off, things like that. Anyway,
you're fucking slime.
He was one of the goons in that Reddit. So I think what happened was the Reddit was abandoned, and then someone just contacted Reddit and said this has been abandoned. There's no mod work being done, and so it went to their control. This impartial person for the people.
For the people.
So they released on the Reddit a list of everyone that was shadow banned. Like it's not a small list, Ian.
No.
And obviously there was a secondary Reddit that came up that was great and is great, Intellivision _Amico subreddit. But it's good to have the original OG one back into the people's hands. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah.
And they're already posting about like the whole timeline of
a lot of these look like they could be spam accounts, frankly, but obviously with 14 fucking pages of unbans, there's definitely a shitload of people in there that should not have been banned.
Oh yeah. I remember people were asking reasonable questions. They were just tossed aside, obviously. So that's the good news there. And I don't know what that means. There's like some reposts from the past about someone saying entering the lion's den and things like that. Tommy trying to ingratiate himself originally before it was taken over. By his goon squad, we'll just say. The other news to talk about, though, is that Maybe Phil Adam listens to the podcast. Maybe he doesn't. But Phil Adam, a week late, a lot of dollars short, had an update to the Republic Amico investors. The same one we talked about in the email. He basically did a nice copy-paste job to them on Republic. It looks almost the same. I'm not comparing both together.
There's no reason to read through it. I checked. There's nothing new said other than the intro is slightly different.
I'll just say this: it's strange that the bullet points are all marked number 1. It's like he copy and pasted from like a Word doc account because I guess Phil doesn't use Google Docs. I don't know. Talk about the licensing deal we talked about before. Licensing Amico games. Then he said, "We'd like to thank you for your support and thank you to our internal team and the external developers that work tirelessly to create a family gaming experience on Amico that brings people of different ages and skills together in group play." Okay, so this is between the last update and this one, we are talking. Was it 4 months since the last one? It was June to September. Pat math, July, August, September. It's been 3 months. 3 months since the last update. So obviously he should have done this immediately and should have updated before, but it's the comments that are interesting, because the comments, were allowed, first of all, which is shocking because comments were not allowed in June.
Right.
So either Phil had realized that, hey, the people that gave us $11 million deserve the right to speak out,
or he forgot,
or he forgot to disable them.
I think he forgot.
Because so far,
I'm not giving anyone the benefit of the doubt.
Because so far, there's been, when we were recording on the 13th, there's been none. There's been looks like no responses from Phil to anyone in the comments.
Nope.
So we're gonna run through the comments. I'm just gonna run through them one at a time as a month, and because I want to get into the type of people that invested in this and the type of people that were basically robbed of their money, of their investment when it comes to this. The first one: thanks very much, Phil, from Dr. Brendan, for all the hard work and the update. Yeah, all that hard work going on in the past few months. Joseph says, this is kind of, it's sad. It's funny, but it's sad because this really tells you the people that throw this money into this shit have no idea what they're doing. A lot of them. Not saying they all don't, but this person didn't. And this person, this is the only thing they ever invested on in Republic, by the way. You can click on people's profiles, which we're going to do. Joseph said, I want my money back or tell me to sell my shares.
Tell me how to sell my shares.
Tell me how to sell my shares. I've emailed numerous times to the email you posted in previous updates. That includes 12 emails with no replies, to no prevail. You are taking too long. I feel this is a lost cause. I don't want to report these to the authorities as fraudulent. You cannot even email replies back, so I see no communication. Now you can reply how. All right, some bad grammar there. I try to clean it up. Alan responded, good luck. You were told in advance that you could not sell your shares till the company went public. That's not true, I think, by the way. I don't think these were ever sellable shares to Republic. They're not sellable.
Sure.
By the way. So Alan here is wrong. This is like all startups. They're like a black hole till they actually go public. No, Alan. If you're a part of a startup and you actually have real equity, you're entitled to communications because you're technically part of the company. The problem with Republic
is they're not real shares.
You're not investing in Intellivision Entertainment. You're investing in Republic, who siphons the money off to Intellivision, who hopefully recoups the money back to Republic, and then you get your shares. So Alan trying to give advice, Alan has no fucking clue what he's talking about. So that annoys me. First of all. So
no one in any of this shit has any clues to what they're talking about. They all saw it as a fucking get-rich-quick opportunity, and it's all falling apart. None of these people know what they're doing.
And Alan, you check, Alan's invested in tons of things. 500 here, 1,000 there, 100 here. He did 1,000 in the Amico. And then Alan's comment, because I'm going to read some of these comments. You can leave a comment when you first invest to sort of pump up the project. Alan said, I like the idea of revenue sharing and a control that is easy to handle. Alan looks like a guy in his late 60s to 70s. Not trying to put him down, but Alan, you're way out of your element here. You're like Donnie. You're way out of your element with knowing what is an easy controller to handle. And obviously the revenue sharing, well, that's not happening on this project. Troy said, thank you for the update. I look forward to seeing these on the market soon. Troy, you're not seeing them on the market soon, buddy.
Yeah, you're never going to see these.
You're not going to see them for sale.
Nope.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Troy. Steven says, by the way, not all these people are actually investors in the product here. Steven says, I was given to understand that my 1,000 investment to get Amico and Intellivision up and running would include a complimentary game console. Come that time when production was finally brought up to speed. No mention of that return gesture to date. Am I still to expect that promise fulfillment? I don't remember that being...
Steven, no, you're not. Two, here's the thing. I don't recall that ever being said.
No.
But, again, proving that people here have no idea what they're fucking doing and they should read. But two, it's entirely possible that was said by Tommy.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to say that it was, but the man let so much shit fly out of his mouth off the cuff that who knows? Who knows what interview or thing they read, and someone was probably like, hey, can we get one for investing? And Tommy was like, wouldn't that be something? And now this guy thinks that he can get one.
And look at Steven's investment comment here. And this is why we were so always pointing out the name of using Intellivision versus the history of Mattel's Intellivision. Steven invested $1,000. I invested because of Intellivision's history of producing. Intellivision Entertainment has produced this shit in my hand. That's it.
That's it.
They produce RFID cards with that go to unencrypted links, the promise of download games and charge you $20 each. Steven, this is all Intellivision has produced.
Yes, what you're thinking of is a company that does not exist and has not existed for a long, long time.
You're thinking of Mattel, who used to own it 40 years ago before they sold it off. That's what you're thinking of.
You're right. It wasn't a separate company. It was just Mattel. Mattel exists.
Then they sold to INTV Corp.
Right.
So this is what I mean. And when we point out to Tommy, back then, he would be in the comments when I said this has nothing to do with the original Intellivision. He would say, we got some guys that worked on the games. Your own SEC fucking document said it has nothing to do with the original Mattel or Intellivision console. And you got these fucking these poor rubes that don't know any better to invest their money. I remember Intellivision from a previous generation of games, and I'm thrilled to see them re-entering the current market. They're not. It's not the same company. It's not the same company.
No, not at all.
Your money's gone.
No, they're not re-entering the market. Someone bought the name.
Sure. Then someone asked, named Jeff, I had the same investment, never saw it mentioned anywhere, meaning the free console.
Because I don't think it was.
And then Steven answers, as mentioned by Tommy in the very early stage of asking for donations/investments into the Amico system's rebirth. He probably said it on some stream.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He probably mentioned it on a stream.
And Steven says that return gesture figured large in me, encouraged by enthusiastic granddaughter to make that investment. The whole thing stinks. The little granddaughter's probably, oh, we can get a console, daddy, a granddaddy, and it's like, yeah, we can. Here's my $1,000. You get nothing. You get nothing.
Get nothing.
And someone asked for a source of Tommy saying that. Patrick asked something very reasonable, as Patricks usually do. I see things from both sides of the fence. On one hand, as we as investors shouldn't be kept so far out of the loop for so long. You're right, Patrick. Says, I think we play a significant role in the life of Amico. Patrick, this company was dead in the water without these millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Back in early 2021. It was dead. And from the other side of the fence, if I were in your shoes, I would be doing the same thing overall. But where I think you missed was the perception that you were hiding things after all the grand talk we heard. So in the future, just suck it up, be a big boy, and accept the fact that shit happens and keep your investors more informed. So Patrick's actually given too much benefit of the doubt.
Yes,
this is not just shit happens. This
would have been great advice 3 years ago.
Yes, this is gross incompetence bordering on fraud. And we don't know if there's been something that's been outright fraudulently done, on purpose. But Patrick's giving them too much of the benefit of the doubt. How much did Patrick invest here? Excuse me. How much has Patrick lost when it comes to this? Looks like Patrick also invested in the metaverse. That's always a good thing to invest in. Here, I don't think Patrick actually invested in this. I don't see anything on here. But Chris, I believe, invested. Chris invested money and said, when he originally invested, said, in quotes, I believe in the CEO, Chris said.
Of course. This is a guy who got into it because
Cult of Tommy.
Cult of Tommy. Yeah, this is a clear Cult of Tommy, and so was his most recent comment, which was, "I hope you prove the critics wrong." Mm-hmm. Okay, you're really holding on, man.
Hey, Chris, I'll give you the same offer.
They're not going to.
Chris, I'll give you the same offer that no one took, that I gave to all the supporters, betting cash money that this would be out at retail, and I'd give you odds. And no one ever took me up on that bet. And that was a real bet. I would honestly do that. I would find a third party to hold the money, and obviously no one took me up on that, because even the sycophants on YouTube realized it wasn't coming out. Javier says, this is great news. Phil, thanks for the update. Javier, it's not great news, buddy.
It's not great at all.
It's not great news at all.
It's pretty bad news.
Jeff says, Lombardo, do these delays affect my investment in any way? Yes, Jeff, you're not getting your money back. Like that.
There's nothing.
The delays mean
there's nothing.
Jeff, I'm really not trying to put you down, buddy. But when something's delayed, it means you can't get something to market to even potentially get your investment back. That's how it's affecting it. It means you can't sell the product because it's... Alan says, thank you, Phil, for the updates. Everything sounds fantastic. Alan, it doesn't sound fantastic.
It doesn't sound fantastic at all.
It does not sound fantastic at all. Alan's, this is a shame. And okay, this is Alan's quote when Alan invested. This is their grammar. I listened to the video today that I got in an email today. I liked and understood everything. It seemed like a good investment, so that's why I invested. I don't know if Alan got the scammy Neil Patel backdoor investment video, but that sounds like that's what happened.
Yes,
here.
that's what I think it is.
That's what it sounds like. That infomercial bullshit that got to invest. Oh, you wanted to go over what Haley? Very reasonable stuff from Haley. Questions? You see that?
Oh,
you want to read that?
I'm looking up. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I just passed it. This is positive news, though. I have a few questions. Will investors be given revenue share on the games you are licensing elsewhere? On what basis will the share be calculated?
That's a great question to ask.
And one that they certainly haven't put any thought into, I'm sure. Who is manufacturing the pilot run? Where are they being made, and how many units are being made?
Great question.
By hand, probably in a garage. Is the same manufacturer of the pilot run making the first full production run? Also a very good question. Otherwise, how are you going to lift the... Got to make sure that the quality, there's got to be a control there.
Sure.
Is the contract for that secured? Do you have all the necessary parts in hand? How many units will be made? I have seen that you ceased your pre-orders with GameStop. Oh. This was the one that I liked. You said you had 100,000 units pre-sold to retailers. With the removal of GameStop, what is the updated figure now?
They never pre-sold 100,000 units. Those were purchase orders that were promised, but those are worth only the freaking ink that they're printed on.
Right, exactly. There's no money involved.
GameStop
there, right?
never gave money to Intellivision to buy 100,000 units.
Right. They said, sure, come back to us when it's ready.
And that was supposedly a combination of Walmart and other shit anyway. And who knows about those mysterious purchase orders anyway? We never saw evidence that they were real. We never saw a document saying, hey, if I was an investor, I'd say I want to see a copy of these purchase orders.
And I've always thought this, but given everything else, I'm sure it was just bloviating.
Sure.
Well, there had to have been something because GameStop had it up for pre-order, but I'm sure it was not nearly as much as Tommy.
Oh, no. But the 100,000 was always as pre-orders when that was purchase orders.
Yes.
And they try to conflate the two.
Yes.
Number 5.
Is there an updated release date for the console? If not, when do you expect to be able to provide one, or what conditions need to be satisfied before you can do so? These are amazingly well thought out questions that I probably blindsided old Phil Adam.
But this person probably didn't. I don't think they invested in this. That's why they're reasonable. Because someone asking these sort of questions probably wouldn't have invested in this to begin with. They were smart to know that something smells fishy.
Yeah, they have a private profile.
The updated release is whatever you think in your head. There, that's there is none. There's none.
None. None.
Luke said we're almost through these. Luke said thanks for the update. In November 2021, when Tommy was still CEO. By then he might have been out, by the way. He made an official announcement on both his and the official Intellivision channels accounts.
That was the one I really liked.
Production had started. What are the status of these units? They never said manufacturing started.
Yeah, they said
production has started.
Formal production.
Which means that can mean anything. That can mean, hey, we had screws made to put in the console. We had this part made. We had that. It's just sketchy enough that you can't say that's probably a fraudulent statement. Just sketchy enough that they keep it just vague enough that to string you along. Don't cancel your pre-orders of the console.
Right.
We're a real company putting out a real product there. Chris said, thanks for update. Google for news articles each week, but not much out there. Oh, no. If you Google, Chris, you can find some good articles.
You can definitely find some stuff, but it's just not going to be what you want to see.
Nothing positive about your investment, Chris. Jeff says, thanks for keeping us in the loop. That's a low bar. Ryan asks, I'd like to know how I can go about selling my shares. You can't, Ryan. You didn't invest in Intellivision directly. It's through Republic. You're stuck. Nice. Sounds great. And then one more person, third person, Sean, I do need to speak with someone regarding my investment in the company in terms of selling my shares.
I do need to speak with someone.
Karen says, your investment is locked in. Refresh yourself with a perusal of your contract. Oof. That's kind of rough, Karen, but you're kind of right about that.
Yep.
And then Mark said, yeah, we're married to this thing for better or for worse. Let's hope they figure something out. Sorry there, Sean. I think you are not seeing a cent coming back.
Nope, not a thing. Not anything.
Well, I mean, unless these great licensing deals funnel money back through Republic, that's something Republic is probably going to look into once they find that out. And you'd be like, wait a second, are you trying to circumnavigate our this deal with this? Like, what's going on here? So, okay, I'm not going to say that they're not going to see anything back. They will see pennies back. All these people,
Sure.
You're going to see pennies back. If you say $100 back on $1,000 investment, I will be absolutely shocked to my core. If you see 10% back on your to recoup your original investment, I will be shocked. So it just goes to show you that with some startups, including this one, you need basically people that either don't know what they're investing in, or lower educated people, or people that are just tossing out money willy-nilly in order to get their investments. You know what I mean? In order to, it's like playing a scratch off to these people.
Right. Yeah.
It's a scratch
really
off.
is.
I'll put 500 here, 100 here, 1,000 here, and if one hits Ian out of the 20, I'll be fine. That's an incredibly stupid way to invest, by the way. I'm not saying these are all these people doing that, but I can definitely see some of the patterns looking at some of these people's investments. It's like, oh, I'm going to invest in a mobile app, and then here's a cocktail company, and here's this. Just $1,000 here, $1,500 here. Just toss it out and see what happens. Not a good way to use your money at all. Throw it in an IRA if you're going to do that. Throw it in an IRA. All right, that's all I got to say. Anything else?
No, I think that pretty well covers it.
Shenanigans.